Maddie and
Everly.
she's just smiling. So, last night I started filming a pack with me because I'm going to LA. I got a COVID test. Oh God, did I bring my COVID test? I have it on my phone. Okay. I forgot to bring my COVID test. Slow. This is where I almost killed Dad. Oh my God. There's this part at the airport where you have to do like a full 360. And once I was driving my dad to the airport when I first got my license, and I didn't realize how slow you had to go. So I was going pretty fast and I had to like slam on my brakes, and he still hasn't forgotten about that. But I got COVID tested. I'm being COVID tested in LA, and it's for business. Typically, if you're going to LA, you have to quarantine for 10 days unless you, there's like a few requirements to not have to do the 10-day quarantine, and one of them is if you're going to LA to film. And I am going to LA to film. I am very excited. I have filmed with Jubilee before, as y'all know, and I'm gonna be filming with them again today. I'm flying in the same day that I'm filming, and I'm only staying like one night, literally one night, flying back the next day. Everly is staying here, and this is my first like thing by myself, and I'm excited and scared. But basically, I'm going to film. I'm being COVID tested there, socially distanced set. I'm not filming with anybody else. I'm gonna be 6 feet away from the director, everybody. They're all gonna be masked. The only time I take off my mask is when I'm actually talking to the camera. It's only 30 minutes. But I am about to leave, and we're at the airport, and I'm gonna go get some coffee. And I don't need coffee, it gives me anxiety, but I'm still gonna get some because I'm tired. I only got like 4 hours of sleep, but yeah, we're at the gate, and I'm gonna say bye to Ev.
Mama, you
So sad. Are you taking a video of me?
say I love you, Mama.
Hey. I'm going on an airplane, and I will see you tomorrow, okay? And you're gonna...
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And hey, listen to me. You're gonna go girl for Gumball, and you're gonna sleep over with her today, okay? Okay? I love you. Can you give me a kiss? I love you. Do you wanna go get ice cream with Gumball right now? Yeah?
Okay.
She's gonna take you to McDonald's to get ice cream, okay? I'll do a story time soon, but basically I'm at the airport again. I got in LA around like 11 or 12. I got to my hotel and it's 3 o'clock and I am now leaving back to Texas. I'll do a story time later, but basically not vibing. Hello, it's now 4 days later and I feel like I owe y'all a story time. I just finished putting together all the footage I had from flying to LA and I didn't really have much. I don't know where to start. I guess we'll start with just like the whole travel experience. As y'all know, we're in a global pandemic, so travel has been pretty restricted and for a while, not even a thing open to the general public. And I was traveling for work. I was going to film a video with Jubilee. Sadly, I did not film with them, but the CDC recommends, or basically says, you have to stay 6 feet away, socially distanced. So I figured like on the plane, they wouldn't have all 3 seats in each row filled. Like it would be like either one person in a middle seat or middle seat closed and people on the other sides. No. I was literally 1 inch away from somebody on the plane. On the airlines that I was flying with, it says on their website, you must receive a negative COVID test before flying. So this made me feel good. I'm like, okay, they're taking this seriously. And then I get to the airport and I'm like, basically trying to figure out who needs to see my COVID test, like, who do I need to show it to? I went through security, they didn't require it. I got on the plane, they didn't need it. So I asked somebody riding with me, I'm like, so did y'all have to like show them your negative COVID tests? Or like, how did that work? They're like, oh, you don't have to get one. They don't require that. That just kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like that. That made me really nervous. It made me feel really good that they were like requiring a negative test and hopefully socially distancing, but not only were they not requiring a negative test, but you were sitting literally not 6 feet, not even 1 foot away from other people. It just made me really anxious. So I end up flying to LA. I get there and I can't book an Uber. I literally like booked an Uber like 5 times. It kept canceling. So I was just sitting there waiting for a Lyft or an Uber to pick me up. And then someone finally picks me up and I like asked them, oh, how's your day? How's it going? And they like wouldn't talk to me and they seemed really mean. And like, I get that not everyone is going to be super like friendly and like good at talking to people, but like, I feel like if you're an Uber driver and you pick up like a young girl who seems anxious, like if she says something to you and tries to make conversation, you shouldn't be rude. It hurt my feelings, but then again, I'm very sensitive. So I ended up getting to my hotel. I had booked this hotel. It's beautiful hotel, regular like $800 a night. I got it on a discount because I booked it so last minute and paid about $300 for one night, which is really high. But I figured since it's like a super nice hotel, they're not gonna have a huge problem with me staying alone since I'm about to be 18. I have people that I know in LA, like family friends, just friends, and if I were to have any trouble, I was just gonna reach out to them and have them help me check into somewhere. So I ended up going to the hotel and they wouldn't let me in. And I ended up just crying, bawling my eyes out in their lobby. And this is a bougie hotel. There was a rapper with like 5 gold chains on, huge bling. And I was just sitting there crying in the lobby. And I finally I go back up there. I'm like, please, like I need a place to stay. I could have someone come sign for me. They can book the room under their name. It's booked under my mom's name, paid under my card. And the problem was, literally the only problem was that I paid with my card and it's booked under my mom's name. If it were to just all have been under my name or my mom's name and they didn't know my birthday, I would have been fine. But whenever the stuff happened with like my card and everything, they found out I was a minor. I literally turned 18 in about 2 weeks. So I didn't think it would be a huge deal. Like I've been able to book an Airbnb by myself before. And a lot of hotels, they'll like let you stay as long as you have a parent signing for you and that assumes all responsibility and is financially liable. So I thought since it was a super nice place, they were gonna be like, okay, she's paying good money. She actually paid the money. We'll be good. I thought I would be good, but I was naive. I was not good. They didn't let me in. I literally explained to them the whole situation after they wouldn't let me check in because I paid with my card instead of my mom's. And they're like, can I see your ID? I'm like, yeah, here you go. And I explained the whole situation that like, I'm a minor, I'm in town for a night for work. And then she comes back with the ID and she's like, well, it appears that you are only 17 years old. I'm like, yeah, I just told you that. I was like, I can put down an extra security deposit. I can have a family friend come sign for me, blah, blah, blah. Like basically all these things. And they basically still said no. And I understand that it's policy. And I can't really change that. So I decided to like call around and see if there's hostels. Because some hostels, motels, some hotels even let you stay if you're underage, just under certain requirements. And I couldn't find anything. I even called a hostel, which is like a shared dormitory room. And I'm like, hey, I know y'all host minors sometimes, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, since COVID, we can't do that. And I just couldn't find a place to stay. I was bawling my eyes out in their bathroom. Like, I was so upset. And and I didn't know what to do because I hadn't gotten myself ready, and I had to film in like a couple hours from when all this was happening. So I try to like get a game plan together, try to figure out what I'm gonna do. I was so ready to go home, and I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna film, I'm just gonna book a flight back. I'm done. I can't do this. I'm absolutely like a mess. I was on 4 hours of sleep. I was anxious. I didn't have Everly with me, and I was just a mess, and I couldn't pull myself together. But I finally took this last little smidge of courage I had. I pulled myself together, and then I tried to find somewhere to stay. I tried to figure out a way to make it work and just fly home the same night. And since it was like last minute, flights were so expensive, and I didn't want to be stuck. So this last little smidge of courage to try to make it work completely fell apart. I couldn't figure out a way to make it work. And I do have friends that live in LA, but I was too embarrassed to reach out to anybody like I wasn't super close with, or even people I was close with. I was just too embarrassed to reach out to them because I was a complete mess. Before I had even gotten to the hotel, I was in the Uber, and I had talked to my mom on the phone, and I just started crying when I heard like Everly playing and her talking to me. And I was just homesick, I guess. I was just too nervous. I haven't traveled with my mom and Everly since COVID, let alone by myself. It was scary. This was my first time flying in over a year, and I flew by myself. I've always had travel anxiety. So my mom ended up calling a family friend, and they were gonna come get me and just let me stay the night with them. So I was good, but I was just so broken down at this point and so tired that I couldn't do it. I didn't think I could sleep away from home that night because I was just a mess, and I needed to be home. So I ended up texting Jubilee. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I can't do it today. I'd love to film in the future. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. I kind of told them the situation a little bit, and they're like, oh, no worries at all. They were so sweet. But family friend is on the way to pick me up. I was like looking at flights, trying to figure out a way to get home that same night. All the flights I'd found were like $1,000. I was not gonna pay $1,000 for a flight. The flight I had got to LA was only $100. So I end up, thank God, finding a flight that would get me home at a decent time for a decent price, but I wouldn't be able to film. So I ended up canceling on filming, the one thing I went to LA for, and just flying back literally 3 hours after I had landed. I was back at the airport and in an airplane flying home, and I was just a mess. It was just too much. I thought I could do it. I really did. And I feel like I get overconfident sometimes. I convince myself I can do these big things and do them by myself, and I can't. I have to realize that like I'm still young. I have anxiety, very bad anxiety. Like, I felt like I was making a huge deal out of this, even though it wasn't a big deal. But it's okay to make a big deal out of something that feels big to you, no matter how small it looks to other people. It's okay to make a big deal out of it, because this was a thing that felt huge to me. It felt like the world was ending to me. I was terrified. I did miss out on an awesome opportunity, but I mean, it's all really just a learning experience. I mean, I am, at the end, disappointed that I didn't find a way to make it work and just stay and film. But at the same time, that's what felt right in the moment. And I know if I were to have gone and filmed, I would have been a total mess. So yeah, that's what happened. Hopefully I can film with another channel in the future, because I love collaborating with other channels like Jubilee. I've been on Hi-Ho Kids, and it's so much fun for me. It was just too much for me this time. It was last minute. I'd packed the night before, didn't get enough sleep, and it was just too much. And that's okay. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, even though the vlog only lasted like 3 minutes. No more traveling for Maddie, unless it's for business, and I will be bringing my mom and Everly next time. No matter what. But I'll see y'all in the next video. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys.